Hi everyone, and I'm back with another Point Zero Titan video. So, I want to first start off by saying I'm sorry I didn't get to do my nighttime video before I got my two other batteries. I'm sorry, but I have been able to cook at night and everything with the 4 batteries. But let me just say that since I have upgraded and got the extra 2 batteries, so, oh, right there. Now she's standing a lot taller. The solar is definitely working better. She's only this low because I cooked a few times and it's been low solar for the past 48 to 56 hours, a little bit. But so far so good. Ever since I got the Titan, I have not lost power. Let me just say that. I have not lost power, even with the 4 batteries. I was able to cook at night and be able to, sustain power until morning and then solar bring her right back up. The lowest she's dropped with the 4 batteries was about 39%. And that's without me starting my bus and running my 12-volt system to run the Titan chargers off of my 12-volt inverter. So I can proudly say the Point Zero Titan is perfect for off-grid living. If you have enough solar panels, let me add that. If you have enough solar panels bringing in the correct amount of volts and watts, and particularly scattered the right way, so that way you are bringing in a decent amount of solar throughout the day, no matter where you're parked, as long as you are in the solar array area. Don't park under trees or behind or next to a building that casts a large shadow that will disturb your solar. Do not do that, okay? Don't do that, because that'll mess it all up. So, since I got the 6 batteries, I can proudly say there was about 2 or 3 days of good solar since I got it. Since I charged it up, balanced the batteries and everything, all that. So during those 3 days, I kid you not, even with cooking at nighttime, after solar is out, no more solar coming in, we're talking 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, she didn't drop. I think the furthest she dropped was about 87%. And without cooking, she stayed at 100%, and the lowest at the highest percentage she dropped was about 98, 97. So I have to say this too. Now, if you are unaware, there is such thing as a power tower. These little orange buttons are like mini circuit breakers, The whole tower is like a mini circuit breaker. So it controls the power a little bit. It actually bumps the power up to about 3,000 watts versus your standard power strip, which is your usual 1875 or 1650. And these towers are amazing. They dumb down the power to the point where at nighttime, where there's no solar, I got both of my fridges running, my window fan, which I took out because temperature dropped, lights and everything. She really only pulls about 85 to 87 watts total. And I've got most of my small stuff hooked up to these power towers, as well as a few of my big things like my all-in-one oven, my microwave, and well, actually the microwave is off, is online, but also my pizza cooker, my wok, and my skillet, as well as my infuser. So I can honestly say so far, with solar and with my other means of charging and properly monitoring the system, my .0 Titan has not, I repeat, has not reached 0.0% in battery power since it has been charged, balanced, and on, and running my entire skoolie. It's amazing. What you hear right now, if you do hear it, the fan, it's my Smart Air purifier. Thing is lovely. I love it. I love it. It's definitely one of the best investments I've gotten for my skoolie. But this doesn't pull that much. It pulls about 60 watts. But running it off of the tower, it pulls a whole lot less, which puts a whole lot less stress on your .0 Titan. And yes, I cannot wait. I will be getting 2 more batteries, and I will be doing another video. Hopefully I can do a nighttime video before I do that video. If I don't hate me, y'all, okay? I'm living. I'm living and I'm having fun with my .0 Titan, running my skoolie. As you can tell, it's running great. And as you can see, I have the power tower running straight off of the reset outlet, and it has not tripped. Can y'all get a good view? So yeah, this is the power tower cord that's in the reset outlet, which I know a lot of people have issues with. And since I have put the power tower in that, it has not tripped. The power tower has its own reset button if it were to trip, so the tower would get tripped before it would trip the Titan, most likely. I have not experienced it tripping yet, so far so good. And I'm working on finding a better 12 volt inverter for my for my uh for my main backup system, so that way I can better charge my point zero Titan, so that way during low solar days when it's raining and it's a super overcast and I'm barely getting a trickle charge, and I love my trickle charge. My trickle charge saves my butt every time. Because the more panels you have, the more space you're taking up with solar, bringing in more volts and watts, consistently, you can get a decent trickle charge where even on overcast, no low solar days, you can still get a decent charge. When I had the full 4 battery setup, the trickle charge saved my butt every time. Let me tell you. I was like, oh my gosh. Keep in mind, I never went like, oh my gosh, gotta start the bus, to save her all the time. I always try and let the Titan do its thing, let my solar panels do its thing, do their thing. And it's it's definitely been a great pleasure being able to live off grid fully and be able to run everything off this system. And I'm getting ready to get some heat mats so that way I can heat the bus during the winter, since it's creeping up. The winter is getting ready to roll in. We're just now getting ready to hit autumn or fall, and it's it's been a wild, fun ride, just trying to learn and get more familiar with the point zero Titan system, especially since I've noticed that the Titan really doesn't want to charge at a decent amount of wattage via solar unless you actually, not just solar, any way of charging. If it's too high in percentage, like if it's in the 80s or 90s, it's not gonna show that it's charging a whole lot. It's gonna show a very bare minimum wattage coming in. And that's the charge controller and inverter working together, trying to, make sure it charges the batteries at a safe rate. It's aggravating because you're playing this waiting game, this waiting charging game, and you're like, oh my gosh, just get to 100% already, please, please, please hurry up and get to 100% already. But there are safety features within the Titan head that are there for a reason. But we all hate waiting for things. But it does charge. It charges pretty well. And I don't have an exact 1,000 watts per battery coming in to charge it. Let me tell you that now. I do not have 6,000 watts of solar coming in. I do not. But I have about half of that. I have about 3,000 coming in. But it's not all at the same time. It depends on, where the sun is. So at different times I'll get different wattages coming in. Early morning, it's usually between like 75 watts to 100 to 300 watts. During prime solar, it's between 600 to 1,000 watts. So it's pretty good. It's working pretty well, and I must say I'm kind of impressed, but not all the way, because it does drop down quite quickly after 50%. Once it drops down to 50%, especially if you only have 4 batteries or less. I started with 4 batteries because I already knew that I needed to run my entire skoolie. And back to what I was saying before, I'm about to get heated floor mats. You know, the snow melting mats that, you know, most establishments have outside during the winter so that people don't bust their butts. So that is gonna be about 200 to 300 watts. And this is my power consumption sheet. This is almost everything on my Hus, aka my skoolie, that is powered electrically by the 0.0 Titan. I only, and I mean only, run electrical. Like, I only do eco-friendly power, other than when I need to emergency charge my system with my actual bus, using the alternator and motor as a generator to power a 12-volt inverter and plug up the chargers for the Titan or my 48-volt system and let it charge up that way. So, thanks for joining me again. And I know this was a long video, but it's been a while, and I figured I'd give y'all a little extra juicy. And I pretty much finished pulling up all my cords and making everything neat, so stay tuned for a tour. I mean, yeah, it's not much of a tour. It's a skoolie, not much to see, but I'll show y'all a little something. Stay tuned for more, and stay fun, and stay eco-friendly, and don't forget, Brown Lives Matter, aka Indigenous Native Lives Matter.